Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Slows Wrestling Show, your source for all things wrestling and sports entertainment. Live from Palm Harbor, Florida. Coming up, Florida Governor deems pro wrestling an essential business. Why WWE is still making wrestlers perform during the pandemic. WWE Money in the Bank card. Revival finally granted release by WWE. WWE Raw reaches lowest audience of 2020. Roman Reigns staying off WWE TV and more on the Slows Wrestling Show. Welcome back to the Slows Wrestling Show, your source for all things wrestling and sports entertainment. Now, the Florida governor deemed pro wrestling and WWE an essential business. So I feel the Florida governor did this because WWE has done an amazing job keeping people entertained and taking people's minds away from this pandemic. WWE feels that this is a way to distract people, but at the same time, you don't have a live audience because of the pandemic, which really sucks. But at least the shows are still going, and at least they are still keeping people entertained in the midst of all this crisis. Now here's the WWE Money in the Bank card. Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Nia Jax, Asuka, Shayna Baszler, Dana Brooke, or Naomi versus two more to be announced. Men's Money in the Bank ladder match. MVP or Apollo Crews versus Aleister Black or Austin Theory versus Rey Mysterio or Murphy. Cesaro or Daniel Bryan versus two more to be announced. Now, according to Bleacher Report, WWE finally granted Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson a release. So I'm glad WWE finally decided to let them go because I believe the WWE wasn't really using them in matches a ton. They did have them in some runs for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships, but they were short-lived, and I think the Revival needs some type of tag run that fits for them in another company, such as AEW or New Japan Pro Wrestling, because that's where they could have some creative control a bit on their matches, and I'm hoping to see them work up to the potential they want to be at in the future. Now, according to Wrestling Inc., WWE Raw drew the lowest audience of 2020 for this week's return to live TV. Monday's Raw episode, the first live WWE episode in weeks but still airing from the closed-set WWE Performance Center, drew an average of 1.9 million viewers on the USA Network, according to Showbuzz Daily. This is down 10% from last week's 2.118 million viewers for the post-WrestleMania 36 episode from the empty Performance Center. This is also the lowest non-holiday week Raw viewership in history. The December 23rd, 2019 episode drew 1.835 million viewers, and the December 24th, 2018 episode averaged 1.775 million viewers. For this week's show, the first hour drew 1.994 million viewers, last week's hour 2.311 million. The second hour drew 1.9 million viewers, last week's hour 2.063 million, and the final hour drew 1.832 million viewers, last week's hour 1.925 million. This is the lowest non-holiday viewership in history for Hour 1, going back to the two Christmas week shows mentioned above from 2018 and 2019. This is also the lowest non-holiday viewership for Hour 2. The second lowest overall is from December 24th, 2018, which drew 1.789 million viewers. This is the sixth lowest third hour of all time, including holidays. Monday Night Raw was number 34 tonight in viewership on cable TV. I feel this is a result of WWE Raw's match card from this week. You had Andrade and Angel Garza crash Drew McIntyre's WWE title celebration. You also had Aleister Black versus Oney Lorcan, and that was a very interesting and very great match. It's just I feel it's because WWE was getting knocked down by other cable TV shows, which explains why they went down to number 30 this week. and got the sixth lowest third hour rating of all time. If WWE wants to get ahead, they will have to spice things up creatively to grab audience attention for people to tune in. And WWE could do that with their upcoming Money in the Bank pay-per-view if they play the right cards, for sure. Now, according to Cultaholic.com, Roman Reigns will be taking off in-ring action for a few months due to him being high risk. I think this was a smart decision by Roman because he doesn't want to get sick, and due to his health in the past, I think it was the right thing to do. But hopefully when Roman Reigns does come back, we could see a WWE Universal Championship run on SmackDown and possibly feuds against Sheamus and Edge, which would be cool to see happen if booking is on point in the future. I will take a break, but when we come back, WWE releases talent and producers. AEW Dynamite results. New Japan Pro Wrestling president puts out statement regarding pandemic. My recommended New Japan matches to watch for the time being. When I think wrestling will get back to where it needs to be. Thoughts on Florida wrestling stars Fabu Andre, Chico Adams, and Tony Donati making headlines on AEW. AEW Double or Nothing relocating from Las Vegas, and more on the Slows Wrestling Show. Welcome back to the Slows Wrestling Show, your source for all things wrestling and sports entertainment. Now here's an update regarding releases. This one comes from my good friend Ming. WWE has released the following producers today, according to PW Insider. Billy Kidman, Mike Rotunda, Pat Buck, Fit Finlay, Sean Devori, Scott Armstrong, Sarah Stock, Shane Helms, and Lance Storm. These cuts are a part of the coronavirus-related business changes. Now, according to Wrestling News, WWE has released the following superstars: Lio Rush, Luke Gallows, Kurt Hawkins, EC3, Carl Anderson, Eric Young, Kurt Angle, and Heath Slater. So this is really unfortunate for WWE producers and superstars due to the pandemic. A lot of people have lost their jobs due to financial hardship. I will miss every single name on the list, including Kurt Angle, who really inspired me to go into sports entertainment growing as a fan over the years. And Lio Rush, he is such a very talented guy music-wise and wrestling-wise, and he really took my breath away watching his NXT Cruiserweight Championship match against Angel Garza. Everyone that has been released has left an impact on somebody in the business, and it's just really heartbreaking to know because of what they have done for this business, and I'm hoping it will all get better for them in due time. Seeing the list of WWE superstars that got released really shocked me, like Lio Rush. Lio Rush is one of the best cruiserweight wrestlers in the business, and I'm glad I got to see him compete when I did on WWE against Isaiah Swerve Scott and Angel Garza. And then Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle is a big name in the wrestling business. He has shaped wrestling into what it is today. He helped do so much for this business, production-wise. Just look at what Kurt Angle did as his time as WWE Raw General Manager. He did a lot. There were some amazing moments in WWE. He created great new moments for everybody, including the fans and the performers backstage. And he's really helped the talent grow and develop. And that's one of the things I'm going to miss about Kurt Angle is that he really, for me, I'm going to miss a lot of the good moments Kurt Angle had against The Rock, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, the Hardy Boys, Stone Cold. Those were amazing matches and some funny moments too. And he really, really is one of those superstars that I really connected with the most. And it's a shame to see him go. Kurt Angle, besides John Cena and The Rock, is one of the people who has impacted me in my lifetime the most as somebody I really look up to as a performer, as a producer, as an amazing person and just as an amazing influence. And it's a shame, and I'm going to miss seeing him perform in front of large crowds and doing what he loves doing. Now, here are the AEW Dynamite results. Lance Archer defeats Colt Cabana off a blackout for the pinfall. Britt Baker defeats Cassandra Golden by pinfall. Sammy Guevara defeats Shuj D with a torture rack into a knee for the pinfall. Kip Sabian defeats Chuck Taylor of Best Friends by pinfall. The chairman, Shawn Spears, defeats Justin Law off a running Death Valley driver. And Jon Moxley beats Jake Hager in an empty arena no-holds-barred match for the AEW World Championship off a paradigm shift into a steel chair. So my rating for this week's episode of AEW Dynamite is a 9 out of 10 because of the main event match between Moxley and Hager, as well as the opening matchup with Lance Archer. I love how Moxley kept grounding Hager in the main event empty arena no-holds-barred match and just didn't allow Hager to get the jump on him at all. He did an amazing job in the performance for sure, and that match was by far the best one of the night, and it's one of the best matches I've seen in a while for sure. Now, here's what New Japan Pro Wrestling president said regarding the virus. As I'm sure you're aware, last week we announced the cancellation of remainder events on the Road to Danaku tour. Our latest 12 cancellations from April 19th to May 4th join other events already canceled from March 1st onward. I know how much of a disappointment this is to fans who were looking forward to attending these events. Ticket holders are all being refunded, however, and as we closely monitor the situation with regards to events after May 4th, ticket sales have been suspended or delayed accordingly to make the process as easy as possible for fans. New Japan Pro Wrestling have been taking the ongoing global situation very seriously from an early stage. Currently, over 90% of our employees are working from home as we continue to do our civic duty as a company to prevent the spread of COVID-19. We, like you, are disappointed and frustrated at not being able to prevent the best professional wrestling on the planet on a live basis at the current moment in time. As a result, we want you to join us in preventing the spread of this disease. Please wash your hands and gargle regularly. If you're in essential work, we seriously appreciate you and ask that you take precautions to stay safe and healthy. Otherwise, please stay home and watch the wealth of content available as part of the New Japan Pro Wrestling World Together project, from an archived matches with English commentary for the first time to the fantastic My Dad is a Heel Wrestler movie. Together we can make a powerful tag team that can kick out of this or any other crisis. We are always proud of the greatest fan base in the world, particularly in this uncertain environment. We are especially grateful to fans that have shown their support for New Japan Pro Wrestling, even without being able to see live events. Every Tokon Shop customer and New Japan Pro Wrestling World subscriber has our deepest gratitude and the appreciation of every single New Japan Pro Wrestling staff member and wrestler. Make no mistake, we will get through this together. I firmly believe that the fighting spirit of New Japan Pro Wrestling is one that can overcome any opposition. I look forward to the day the greatest wrestlers in the world can show that spirit in the ring once more. So when I think New Japan Pro Wrestling could return to live TV is in a couple of months. And what I miss the most about it is the English commentary with Gino Gambino, Kevin Kelly, and Chris, because they do such a great job. They're funny. They have a lot of energy. They have such passion for commentary and wrestling as a whole, and I love listening to them because they're so interesting and they're fun to listen to, and I can learn a lot from these guys as well because I want to go into commentary in the future, so if anything, I could learn a lot from them. Now here are my recommended New Japan Pro Wrestling matches to watch. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Hiroki Goto for the IWGP IC Championship. Will Ospreay versus Dragon Lee. Tetsuya Naito versus Jay White for the IWGP IC title. Bullet Club, Guerrillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga, and Tangaloa versus Roppongi 3K, Sho and Yo for the IWGP Junior Tag Team Championships. Now here's when I think wrestling will get back to where it needs to be. It could be a couple months, but I think when wrestling does get back to where it needs to be, wrestling will be better than ever before because everyone will be united and people will help each other out in the business. And I feel wrestling needs more of that, and that we need more people who will be willing to go the extra mile in the wrestling community, because we are all in this together and we will get through this difficult time as a team. And I'm sure we will all come out of this strong individuals. Now, here are my thoughts on Florida wrestling stars Tony Donati, Fabu Andre, and Chico Adams making headlines in AEW. So I know each of the three of these guys personally, who are hardworking, well-driven individuals who have the courage and sacrifice to get to where they want to be in the wrestling business. All three have done that by getting the opportunity to perform on national television, and that's a huge feat to accomplish, and I couldn't be any more happy for these guys, and I hope this brings them to the next level in their professional wrestling careers. So finally, AEW is moving their show Double or Nothing 2 from the MGM in Las Vegas to a closed arena location and will be filming in the next few weeks or so. AEW has since given the fans the option to request a refund for their ticket or save the ticket for one of next year's events. So the pandemic has been affecting AEW shows as well too, and I'm hoping they don't run out of ideas for show tapings and that they will continue to do as well as they have. This will be a difficult task, but I believe they will somehow get through the hardship that the wrestling world is facing right now, because they are willing to get things done for the sake of sports entertainment, even in difficult times. And that's one of the key things I like about All Elite Wrestling, is they don't give up. They do or die. They keep going no matter what's happening, and they try to keep people entertained as best as they can. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this week's episode. Be sure to follow the show on Twitter at ShowSlows, and follow the Slows Wrestling Show Facebook page. Please stay safe out there. From Palm Harbor, Florida, I'm Alex Slows saying goodbye for now. Have a good one, everybody.